I'll give you your full title. It's the Reverend Richard Harris, who's the minister at Terrigal Uniting Church. So good morning to you, Richard.
Good morning, Phil. You can probably call me an ordinary guest rather than a special one.
Okay, well, a special ordinary guest. Richard is here to tell us about a new initiative that Terrigal Uniting Church is starting called, a repair cafe. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? We'll find out more about that, but we couldn't let the opportunity pass us by but to ask Richard what it's been like as head of a church for the last 12 months with COVID and everything. I mean, how has Terrigal Uniting navigated the last 12 months?
It's been a weird year. It's been really challenging because you had to sort of reinvent so many things and set up a whole heap of stuff because you couldn't have everyone come to church, and so there was that period of lockdown, and so at the start of it we had to try and work out how we could do a worship service online. And I know the first 3 weeks we filmed an entire worship service on 2 iPhones.
That's when you started live streaming, is it?
Yeah, so we didn't miss a Sunday. So as soon as we were told there was the lockdown, we actually started recording services straight away. We were fortunate. We've got one person that's got some great skills in production stuff. We've got a person that was a producer in our congregation, and so he stepped up straight away and started helping us work out how to do it. So from there we've gone on live stream for about 6 months. We just did one service where normally we would have 3 on a Sunday. But we just live streamed 1, and then eventually we live streamed 2 with 2 different styles for our congregation.
But a very steep learning curve for all involved.
Oh, massive. And trying to talk to a camera rather than a human is just a completely different world.
Yeah. You've progressed beyond the little sort of mobile phone cameras now, have you?
Oh, yep. So, we decided fairly early on that we would set ourselves up properly so that we could live stream from here on in. So our 9:45 service is always live streamed now and will do into the future. So yeah, we've got 2 PTZ cameras, tilt, pan and zoom. So basically we've got a little control panel up the back, so you press a button and one of the cameras zooms to a spot. I'm behind the lectern, press the button and it goes there. Yeah, so it's a completely different world.
Yeah. How did the congregation react, and was there any difference in sort of the reaction of sort of the more mature members of your congregation and the young ones?
I've got to say that people adapted incredibly well. Even today, we've still got a few people in our congregation that meet in a home, and they've got sort of some friends that come over and they watch the service rather than attend in the building, and they're sort of thinking that they might once a month come to the building and then the other times still continue that. But people reacted quite well and quite quickly. We set it up on 2 platforms, so we did Facebook and YouTube. So we streamed to 2 platforms because YouTube is far more simple to work with. You press the button and it works, where Facebook is a bit more
complicated.
Yeah, complex. So the older people have sort of mostly connected through the YouTube. Once they've worked it out and set it up, they're going really well. And I'm surprised at how almost everyone. There was probably at the point of the lockdown, we had probably 5 or 6 people that really could not do it.
And that's out of a congregation of how many?
We would, before COVID, we would have expected to see 240 people across the 3 services on a Sunday.
Right. So the overwhelming majority were...
Overwhelming majority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talking of the future, you say you're going to continue to live stream one of your services so that you'll have an online community. The problem I see for all churches really, is how do you make those online people feel connected and part of the church community when they're live streaming?
It's an ultimate challenge for us, and because it's also not just people that are living in the local Terrigal area. We've got some people over in Scotland that used to live in Terrigal that moved back over there, that now we're pretty much their church, particularly while Scotland is in lockdown and struggling the way it is. We've got a couple of South African families that are sort of families of our people as well, and also a variety of other places around Australia. So we had a long conversation at my last leaders meeting about how do we turn it from not just people watching a TV show about Jesus, but turning it into a community that is worshipping and connecting.
Yeah, because that sense of belonging, personally speaking, that's why I come on a Sunday rather than just watch a live stream. It's that connection with people and a feeling that you're part of a community, which is so important to the church.
Very important, and yeah. But there are ways of doing it. Like there are churches over in the UK and the US that actually have online pastors. Like, so one of their pastors, that's their gig, to work out how to create that community. We're never going to go there, but we do need to seriously contemplate how do we make it a community. And it might mean that occasionally we draw people together as best we can if they're in the local area for special occasions.
Barbecues or sort of harvest festivals, that type of thing. Yeah. So you don't see the churches ever going back to what we sort of fondly refer to as the normal?
Yeah, look, I don't. No. Look, I love looking at history occasionally, and every pandemic has shaped the way that the world works in each time round. You know, so the last one, the Spanish flu, created wiped down surfaces, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't that good on the wiped down surfaces before that. You know, and so we won't be the same, but we'll change to suit the new environment.
You think God has been trying to, I won't say, well, yes, so we'll say teach churches how to do church in a new and different way?
God has worked with us to react to every situation in life. God, I think God works with us to react the best we can in every moment if we listen to the Spirit's voice.
Yeah. And I have heard people say that this pandemic, it's only accelerated a trend which was sort of bumbling along at 15k an hour in the slow lane. It's just sort of put it in the fast lane and accelerated something which was taking place anyway.
Absolutely. And I don't think we should fear the change. We should embrace it and see what the opportunity that change can give us.
And where do we stand today? Church, we sing with masks on, but morning tea isn't served and communion's a bit sort of clunky and awkward. Where do we stand today?
I think some of it's getting easier. We're contemplating. We don't know. We're waiting. The government is apparently doing some more easing today, from what I heard.
Yeah, we did check listeners before Richard started speaking on the website, but Gladys hasn't spoken yet.
Yeah, yes, but when Gladys speaks, like, we're hoping that after Easter we'll start to get back to our morning teas and those things.
Yeah,
drawing our congregation back together, it's been one of my greatest challenges and concerns, because that all the tricks that I'm used to of trying to help our community stay as a community is creating events where people gather and mingle.
Yeah.
And it's the thing that's most, not allowed to do at the moment.
Yeah. Talking about gathering and mingling, we'll break for some music in a few seconds, but talking about gathering and mingling, that perhaps leads us on to the reason that we invited you in, Richard, is to talk about this repair cafe that's it's on this Saturday, isn't it?
Yep, this Saturday. We do the last Saturday of every month, except for December, because that's a bit close to Christmas.
Yeah. So if you want to know what a repair cafe is, and if you want to know whether it's for you, you might have stuff around you. This morning, who's the minister at Terrigal Uniting Church, we were talking before the break about the impact of COVID on his church. Now we're going to start talking about something which is new. Well, new for Terrigal Uniting and perhaps new for the coast as well, as far as church's involvement is concerned. It's a repair cafe. Richard, what is a repair cafe?
They're an international movement. There is apparently up on the hinterland. There is one somewhere else as well on the coast.
Okay.
But they're an international movement, and it's basically trying to prevent more things going into landfill, because a lot of things that are broken that we often throw away can be repaired with sort of a simple repairs.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what I do. I tend to throw away rather than repair. I think years ago, dads used to teach kids, or granddads would teach kids how to repair stuff. That doesn't happen now, does it?
Well, look, I think culture's changing again, and I think it is a little bit because we are passionate about trying to stop some of the environmental degradation around the place.
Yeah.
And look, landfill is a huge problem. The amount of rubbish that we throw away that is actually very usable is important for us to think about how we can fix them and reuse them. So, yeah.
So does this tie in with the church's sort of eco sort of viewpoint as far as being good stewards of the earth's resources?
For me, it absolutely is. You know, for us to take seriously God's call to care for the creation, to be good stewards of this creation, doesn't mean that we use and abuse it, but we need to value it, care for it, and acknowledge things like climate change and those things that are damaging the beautiful artwork of gods that we live in.
Yeah.
So the Repair Cafe is a part of what we do. Yeah.
But it fits into other things that you've got, other sort of eco programs that are there.
So we do a couple of other things. One is because we're very fortunate, we sit on about a 3-acre block on Terrigal Drive, and we've got some bushland that's a part of our block, and we've been gradually taking out some of the noxious weeds and the lantana and stuff on that patch of ground, and replanting an understory of native plants, but also putting a bush tucker garden in. So we're looking at some of the bush tucker that was the local area stuff, and we've got some native beehives. So we've got I'm a bit of a fan of bees, and so we've got about 4 or 5 native beehives around there.
Yes. What's the word? Apiarist? Are you an apiarist?
Yes.
You've got honey hives.
Look, I've got 1 or 2. I have 1 or 2 of my own, but the native bees, they're delightfully useless animals. Really, they produce only about a cup or at best about 1 kilo of honey a year.
Yeah.
Compared to a European hive that can produce up to 80 kilos.
We shall get you back sometime and you can wax lyrical on this passion of yours with bees. But getting back to the Repair Cafe, what sort of repairs are you doing there? People are perhaps listening and already thinking, I've got a damaged chair with a wonky leg, or I've got some sort of, gadgets in the garage that are broken, or my lawnmower doesn't work anymore. Is that the type of thing?
Probably can't do much with the lawnmower at the moment.
Okay.
Although can I say that the men's shed underneath Terrigal Uniting Church, go and talk with them. Mm-hmm. They do a few lawnmower repairs. But yes, the chair, absolutely. We will have a go at trying to repair anything, but we've got some people with some woodwork skills. We've got a couple of people with skills to fix anything that's sort of battery operated.
Okay.
And when I say fix anything, to try and fix anything.
Give it a go.
Like that's their skill areas. We've got one person that's teaching people how to sort of get rust off tools and start them up, and knife sharpening and those kinds of things, so that we can use them for longer.
And what's for the ladies?
Oh, look, there's knife sharpening and there's furniture repairs.
I'm not going there.
Yeah, but also for men and women that have got some clothing that need repair, we've got some people with some sewing skills and jewellery skills as well.
So that clasp on Great Aunt Frida's heirloom of a necklace, if that's broken, they might be able to repair it.
Yeah, look, depending on how valuable the heirloom is, you might want to take it to a jeweller proper. But yes, we can definitely repair things and work on repairing them. It's not about us doing it for people. It's about us doing it with people. So
we don't just drop it off and come back and collect it later?
No. And look, everything that is done, you don't charge for anything at a Repair Cafe. So it's not about sort of a fee for service. If you want to give a donation for the consumables and stuff, that's great. But it's about us imparting the skills on how to do it. And sometimes you might need some tools like clamps and stuff to sort of fix the chair. So sometimes you might need to come back again another time to sort of, fix one chair a week, one chair a month kind of stuff.
Or the other leg has gone next time.
Yeah.
So the idea is that we come along, somebody will sit down and they will show us how to repair it, so that we actually get a skill as well. We pick up a new trick.
That's our hope. That's our hope with the way it is. Like, because for me, I'm a cabinet maker by trade, and we so often throw timber away that takes 80, 100 years to grow, and you know the chair gets wobbly, therefore we throw it away. Where we should actually treat stuff with a bit more respect. I'm actually a cabinet maker. I was trained in Tasmania, and Huon pine down there. Your average seedling of those, like the average tree that they log, and this is the average, was a seedling at the time of Jesus.
Wow.
You know, so it's not a renewable resource.
No.
To have a tree that was 2,000 years old, it's beautiful timber, but we shouldn't. But we should always make sure that we keep it.
Yeah, it's valuable.
Yeah.
It's valuable. If they can't repair it, they'll tell us.
Yeah. Look, if we can't do it, we will tell you, and we might even have some ideas and some people that could. Of course, there are things that are going to be just broken beyond repair.
Yeah.
And our skill level won't be able to do absolutely everything, but you'd be surprised at what we can work with.
Toys. Could we bring some toys in?
Yep. So really, toys. We've got one person that has done some bike repairs, so you know it might be able to help with a little bit of bike repairing. So toys, they could come along. If you've got some buttons off and you're still not quite sure how to sew buttons on, someone can help you with that.
Yeah.
All the simple things, and because we've got some of the tools, we're building up some of those tools as well. So we don't have everything, but.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about bike repairs, but mums and dad's bikes, the kids' bikes, if something's gone wrong, bring them in, see if it's a go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can the kids come along as well with mum and dad?
Absolutely.
Everybody's welcome?
Everybody's welcome. Look, if one of the kids has got something that they want repaired, mum and dad might need to stay with the kid as they're working with the person to repair it.
Yeah. Especially on the knife sharpening table.
Yeah. You know, 16-year-olds, I know, if you're carrying knives, I think it is.
Yeah.
We've got our pizza oven. We've got a wood-fired pizza oven that I'll be sort of working with there, and we've got some coffees and stuff, so that
that's the cafe element of it. So it's going to be a bit of a social thing by the sound of it.
Hopefully, like, you know, if you need to wait for 20 minutes for your glue to go off on something before you take it away again, you could have a coffee and sit down, or have a pizza and sit down.
Barista coffee and a pizza?
It is, yes.
Sounds very good. Look, this week I'm just going to have to ask this, Richard. What if it's raining on Saturday morning?
Well, apart from the fact we've been praying that it won't be raining Saturday morning and following the forecast, if it is ever raining, we just go inside. We've still got capacity at our church to go inside into our hall and some other spaces, some awnings, but mostly we'll be outside as much as we can. Some of the sewing and stuff is in our hall anyway.
Yeah. What time do you kick off?
So it's from 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock.
10 o'clock till 1 o'clock on the last Saturday of every month?
Yes.
Okay, that's we'll keep promoting that. So look, if that sounds like something that could interest you, if you've got sort of broken toys or bikes or knives that need sharpening, or I don't know, jewellery that needs mending, anything that's been mentioned, then if you can get along to Terribly Uniting Church this Saturday morning, grab a pizza, have a coffee, and see if it can be repaired for you. Sounds really good. So that's a repair cafe.
That's the repair cafe. So yeah, we're repairing, restoring, and renewing things.
I like that. That could apply to people's souls as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We all need repairing, renewing, and what was the other one?
Repair, restore, and renew.
Repair, restore, renew. Look, if you want to meet Richard and chat with him, I think you'll be on the pizza oven, won't you? That's your specialty area.
That's this time round?
This time round.
I am a cabinet maker, so I probably should do some work on the wood as well. But
exactly. Why aren't you mending the furniture?
No, I like the pizza oven. It's safer.
Yeah, okay. That's all happening down at Terribly Uniting this Saturday morning. We look forward to meeting you there.